Reiza Studios just announced that in December they will be releasing Automobilista 2 Motorsport Simulator. And let me tell you, as a sim racing fanboy, this is incredibly exciting, and I'm going to explain why in this video. This video is sponsored by Antline Audio's Mod Mic Wireless. The Mod Mic Wireless features low latency, lag-free capture, full 16-bit 48kHz sound quality, dual mic modes, and 12 hours of battery with charge in use functionality. I've been using Mod Mics for over a year now. They sound great, and they let me use my non-gaming headphones as gaming headphones. You can check out the Mod Mic website by clicking on the Mod Mic link in the description. Look, I know you shouldn't buy hype train tickets. It's a recipe for disappointment. But when it comes to Reiza, there's a good reason to be hyped. First of all, if you've ever played GameStop Car, Automobilista, all their cars that they've put into R-Factor 2, you know that Reiza understand at a fundamental core level what it is that makes a car fun to drive. Whether it's a Formula car, a go-kart, a GT car, it doesn't even matter. Every car they make basically ticks that box that says, does it drive in an enjoyable way at a fundamental level? I.e., the focus is the quality of the drive when trying to hold the car at the limit. You can go over the limit a bit, you can stay under the limit, but you're trying to balance the car on the limit, and doing that is always really enjoyable with a Reiza car. That's not to say you won't crash the cars or that it's too easy. You will do. You're still going to be terrible at sim racing. That's just life. But the point is, you pretty much always feel as if it's your fault, not some weird quirk of the specific simulator. That is the genius of Reiza cars, whatever the sim they build them in. That's out the way, that introduction out the way. I mean, outside of the handling, they normally get the force feedback spot on. They normally get the sound spot on. It might not be the deepest of sound in their previous titles, but the tone of it and the actual utility of it is always spot on. Oh my god. So, if you were to base your hype on a new game off the previous games, then it's a good assumption to make that this next Reiza title will probably have awesome driving cars at a basic level, which is the most important part of a driving simulator as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so that's out the way. Looking at the trailer that they've released, some noticeable aspects of it, the biggest one, which totally caught me by surprise, is the fact that they're using the Madness engine, which, of course, some of you know is the game engine that Project Cars 2 uses. Now, some of you are like, oh, I don't like Project Cars 2. I quite like many aspects of Project Cars 2. Not all the cars handling. There are some nice cars in it. But when it comes to the underlying game engine, you've got your amazing graphics. It looks absolutely phenomenal, as the game still does now. You've got dynamic light. You've got the dynamic track with heating and rain pooling and everything. You've got all the different weather options. At a fundamental level, you've got triple screen support. You've got VR support. And because Project Cars 2 came out over a year ago, and just because it's actually a very well-built graphics engine, it runs really nicely, especially if you're throwing like a 1080 Ti or 1080, or if you're going to get a 2070 or something now, you're going to get good performance out of it. In contrast to some of the other new engines on the market, like the Unreal Engine, which don't have triple screen support, struggle in VR unless you're using the forward renderer version, and seem to just be a bit cumbersome in the context of driving simulators. I'm sure Unreal Engine is going to get better as developers work with it more, but Project Cars 2 engine or Madness engine is proven within driving simulators. And I'd say from an engine standpoint, the only thing that really let down Project Cars 2 was just some of the small little niggly bugs. Like when you're doing multiplayer games, sometimes people would randomly get kicked, or there's some occasional glitches, but nothing like absolutely destroying the game. I mean, I still live stream all the time, really enjoy it. The thing that really let down Project Cars 2, and the one thing that I think everyone would agree on, was that most of the cars drive in a somewhat interesting way, and not necessarily always the best way. So you take a company like Reiza, who have cars that arguably, and it's probably an opinion thing, it's not an opinion. You all know I'm right. Reiza cars are generally pretty much some of the best cars in sim racing, but they've never had the game engine. And you've got slightly mad studios that don't have the best cars, but they have arguably one of the best game engines. And oh my god, you get super duper hyped. Well, I do at least. Oh man. So, I mean, this is essentially Project Reiza Cars 3. I can't believe it. I'm just setting myself up for disappointment. Anyway, looking at the launch trailer for Automobilista 2 with my binoculars and combing through fine details, this is just assumptions. I don't know anything. This is just from the trailer, but it does appear like Automobilista 2 is gonna have pretty much the content that's in Automobilista, but in the Madness engine. I mean, we don't know what other features are going to be in there, but I would think it was a relatively safe bet that it will carry across many of the game engine features that were in Project Cars 2. It'd be weird for it not to. Why, if you've licensed the engine, why not use them? So at the start of the trailer, we see the rain there with it pooling on the circuit. We see the clouds, the sort of dynamic clouds, the dynamic lighting system. Of course, that's Interlagos in the background, which in a weird way is kind of Reiza's like trademark circuit, obviously because of where it's located in the world. A bit of a stock car pulling out of the pit lane there. Probably going to drive into the wall if it's commanded by me. There we go, we've got a bunch of stock cars beasting around the circuit. Nice, beautiful, sexy. Imola, of course, an absolutely cracking circuit, but you notice the car is the Formula V, which is actually just recently put in the R Factor 2 Reiza pack. Absolute cracking beast of a trainer car. It tries to rotate on you, but it's good to learn how to drive with. Fantastic. The MCR, guys, otherwise known as the rip-off Radical SR3, and my favourite Reiza car, just for online racing, that MCR is a legend. Caterham 7! Oh my god, picnic basket in the boot. Oh god, dream car. Go-karts. That's not a car. And then we have a wide shot. What circuit is that? I can't tell. It's probably some Brazilian track, I don't know. But nice nighttime lighting there with the racing. Again, that's kind of standard affair for Madness engine. Surprise DeLorean! Oh, it's not a DeLorean, but it does look a bit like one. Lorries. Forget Euro Truck Sim. Take the trailer off, you're racing. Bit of Reiza Formula. And is that Monaco? Whoa! Excitement. And what's this sexy beast? It's a McLaren MP4. Absolutely gorgeous. Proper, no-nonsense Formula car. Look at that. Proper gear knob, proper steering wheel. That's what it's all about. No DRS in those days. Fat tyres, beautiful women, probably hungover whilst driving. Ah, proper old school racing, guys. Totally irresponsible. And probably going to be absolutely awesome to drive in Automobilista 2. But I mean, oh my god. Okay, so I'm going to have to try and blank this out of the brain. I need one of those Men in Black flash stick things. I honestly can't contain the hype. And yeah, I did notice Brands Hatch was in there. Oh my god, the beautiful grassy hatch of Brands. So it appears that basically they're probably going to use all the content that was in the previous game stock cars, as well as like the Britpack content. I mean, if they've got the licenses, they've built the 3D models, and they're probably going to want to put them into this. This is the Reiza title. I mean, I have to say, the big thing that always held back game stock car was basically the R Factor engine. I mean, I understand why they used it, and it's still great, but just the interface is really tiresome. The original G-Motor engine, it's just cumbersome to use. I always have problems with it. I was done with it after R Factor 1. I really like what they did with it, but it's been time to move on. And this is what, from my perspective, I was looking from Reiza. Just a cohesive package. You buy the game, you get a good swathe of content. Hopefully you get the Reiza physics and force feedback. And then you've also got the additional feature set with hopefully the VR and everything else. Well, let's see how it goes. Let's not hype it too much. This whole video is a hype video. Try and forget about it. Oh dear. I think the sim community is going to be super hyped about this. No pressure, Reiza. No pressure at all. No, there's not an inkling of pressure. All the pressure is upon you guys. Oh, man. I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. If you did, you know, there's a like button there. It's optional to click. You can also subscribe. We'll be following this title for sure. Follow Reiza on Twitter as well, so you know what's happening when it happens. But until the next one, guys, thanks for watching. Happy tea drinking. And goodbye.